The following is the May 23, 2025 newsletter. Telemedicine company criticized for selling fake drugs. 6 style of analysis. About the concern for telemedicine companies. Daily health directly. Selling drugs to consumers, without the close supervision of a doctor. Video focus reflects the problem of telecompanies. Allow users to order medicines online via coupons. Online inquiry and consultation. There's no need to see a doctor. In fact, it's contradictory with conventional medical regulations. The story of a student, Alex Mill, for a classic example. That's a good example he used. Leading to serious side effects like sexual dysfunction, insomnia, and anxiety. It was eventually diagnosed as postmortem syndrome. Presentation, video. The performance is easy. That users can access drugs that include even drugs that don't fit or use labels. For example, one user search. GLB-1, but the company has launched other drugs. Even drugs that treat other diseases. As epilepsy is also given, although not necessary. Raise the issue that online advice does not guarantee accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment. Online, Dr. Isley gives out prescriptions without enough information about the patient's health condition. It shows that many companies are facing cases and investigations because selling drugs is not regulated. Experts, especially urologist Jesse Mill, expressed concern about potential risks to the patient's health when taking drugs from telehealth companies without proper medical supervision. It ends with strict advice from experts: you shouldn't use TD health companies to buy drugs. A warning about potential health risks when using telehealth services to order medicine online without proper medical supervision and control. This is news, the 23rd of May 2025 case. Escaped from prison in New Orleans. The emergency search. 5 prisoners escaped from prison. New Orleans is getting tense and complicated. The escape took place almost a week ago. The case is considered serious with District Director Detective Anthony. He ordered an investigation into the prison scene. As a scene, it's a case where 10 fingerprints and DNA aren't common. Louisiana Federal Bureau of Investigation took over the investigation into the prison escape. It is believed that the prisoners are in the area. The district chief said that the people may be getting help from the community. 2 women were arrested for providing food and let some prisoners escape. A prison maintenance worker. He is facing 11 charges for allegedly turning off the water in cells to help prisoners escape. His lawyer denies the allegations. The district chief expressed confidence into the evidence that investigators collected. The court has set bail up to $5 million for a woman $1 million for the other woman. The district chief is asking. The police chief's office provided the data. Related to the case, 6 dial to encourage viewers to update information. Related to. Here is the news, the 23rd of May 2025. The new BBQ Museum. The BBQ Museum in Kansas City, America, a place that celebrates food history and culture. America's diverse barbecue. The new BBQ Museum in Kansas. It's built with the intention of honoring the culinary American barbecue from many different regions, not just Kansas City alone. Founder of the museum, Jonathan Bender. The BBQ is worth it. With a museum that's not just a place to barbecue. It also shows culture, different history and processing ways of this kind of cuisine. Museums don't just focus on style, Kansas City barbecue, but also display styles from other parts of the United States. For example, the area mustard belt between Columbia and Charleston. The private display booths. It's also designed for side dishes. The video highlights the diversity in the process. BBQ processing from low temperature with long time until other types of processing, as well as spices and ways. Enjoy dry, wet, spicy, sweet, various. Jonathan Bender, who's not from Kansas City. Ensure fairness and objectivity. In the description and presentation of the museum, this helps highlight the diversity of American barbecue. Provide location information in Kansas City. Emphasize the author's purpose. In building this museum, in there, the viewer has a comprehensive view of the meaning of the project. 6do, not only introduced to about the processing techniques. It's important to remember that BBQ is part of American culture. They reflect traditional stories in different regions. This is the news, the 23rd of May, 2025. U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services. Solutions for Children's Health. Vi to the interview. U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services on the report. Make America healthy again. Focus on children's health and global health issues. Reports indicate our chronic disease epidemic in children in the United States. It's on alert. With a chronic disease rate of up to 60%, that's only 3% at the time of the minister as president, mostly us children not eligible for 5 because of health issues. Us medical expenses higher than the growth of the economy. The minister thought that the cause of this condition, it comes from contact with environmental contaminants, an unhealthy diet that lacks movement, points to the excessive use of processed foods and high levels of sugar in the diet is the main cause. The minister proposed a range of measures, including change the current nutritional guidelines, replaced by a short guide, 4 to 5 pages, on how to provide healthy food for children. This is intended towards the food program for schools and policies and wave aloud. The boards remove sugary drinks and kinds of food unhealthy from food assistance programs. Done. Long-term trials comparing diets. Rich, natural food and processed food diet. To determine the effectiveness, the minister confirmed. It's about the need for more research. Clinical trials with existing vaccines. It is required in the U.S. before the injection, including the use of placebo control to evaluate efficacy. He expressed concern about inaccurate information related to vaccines in the past, but at the same time emphasized the importance of allow parents and doctors make the best choice. The minister thought that change your lifestyle. Diet is the thing. We need to help overcome many diseases in the United States. In there, diabetes in adolescents, 38% of the age group. The minister emphasized, our role is to advance science, gold standard, in public health agencies, to agree to end data fraud in the scientific study of medicine. The minister mentioned the outbreak. In some areas of the United States, it's recommended that people get vaccinated. He also stressed the importance of consideration, choice, and meet the healthcare needs of people. Have a different view of vaccination. It's about the minister swimming in national parks. Rock Red, where there's a high pollution alert that triggers a response. The minister explained that he swam in another stream. Overall video expressed the minister's view about the state of public health in the United States, emphasized the need to change the policies on nutrition, immunization, and quality improvement, medical research. Hi guys, here is the news, the 23rd of May. This year's Memorial Day memories hit a 25-year high. This year's Memorial Day holiday. Focus on vehicle and air traffic. With the 6th century increase in passenger numbers, more than 45 million Americans will travel by plane or car during the Memorial Day holiday, break 625. Up from 44 million passengers in 2005. The snowstorms are affecting the flight path, resulting in flight delays and pauses. Operating at some airports, the airlines, they are also facing a shortage of staff. Law on identity documents. It's still a problem, affecting the handling time of passengers at the airport. TSA encourages passengers, get to the airport early and prepare your paperwork, including your real ID or passport. The passengers should complete the online procedure before arriving at the airport to reduce waiting time. The best time to drive is before 12 noon. On Friday, and avoid 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Friday. And before 9 p.m. on a Saturday. Airport. Preparing for the number of guests. Passenger growth in the 6th century. TSA estimates 90% of passengers have a real ID or valid forms of proof of identity. Passengers are advised to arrive at the airport before flight time, 2 to 3 hours. Passengers need to be aware. Size and weight regulations for the portable items, especially the items like sunscreen and insect sprays. Here's the news, the 23rd of May, 2025, the cuts. Ministry of Education of China. Cause concern for parents of disabled students. 6. Reflect. The concerns of parents of disabled students. Before the cut plan, President Trump's Department of Education. President Trump announced he would abolish the U.S. Department of Education. A move. This is a major concern for families with disabled children. About 7 to 5 million disabled students nationwide. It depends on the funding and federal oversight to support education. The cuts will seriously affect the access to additional financial resources and support. Many parents are struggling to seek to understand change. I am worried about the future of education for my children. The program transfer supports students with disabilities to the Ministry of Health and Human Services to make the paper more worrying. Because the department once laid off 10,000 employees. Video gives the story of mothers like Megan Biller. I have difficulty reading. And Jack Mandaya. 3 children are difficult to read. Have had difficulty finding educational support. For the children locally, you even have to sue or start your own school. These mothers show a lack of satisfaction of the current education system and affirms the need of federal oversight. I have a question about legal and practical ways to ensure education of disabled students when there's no oversight from the Ministry of Education. Some lawyers are calling on Congress to measures to ensure financial resources for students with disabilities and maintain the Ministry of Education. However, the future of the program, it will depend greatly on the response of Congress. Expert from Rocking. Intuition. Given that the implementation of President Trump's plan, it depends on the policy of each state. The 3rd chapter ends with a call. People pay attention to education. For students with disabilities and keep track of the latest information,